Well, Billy, 2-2 draw here at Clipstone. A good point in the end for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we've said is on the road against the good teams in the league, that above everything else, it's just don't get beat, and it's been a real test of character today.
It wasn't the best first half going into the break, 2-0 down. What do you think went wrong?
Well, I think the first goal, we just got caught out a little bit, made a couple of mistakes, and we should have learnt our lesson. We had a warning a couple of minutes before that. And then it's one of them where you could argue that we were close enough in the middle, centrally in the middle of the goal area, or was it just a really, really good ball in? And I think the goal was probably just a good ball in.
Was there a second goal offside for you? There's massive shouts.
I think for me, unless the only thing I can think is that they thought that it came off one of our players, and I don't know whether it has or whether it's not, or whether that's what their opinion was. But I think every single person in the ground expected the game to be stopped. But you know, it were a massive setback, because I thought we probably just got back into the game at that stage, and we were looking threatening again, and it knocked stuffing out of us, and it took a lot out of us, and then it was just a case of getting to our time so we could.
What did you say to the lads to regroup after?
Well, just to be fair, Mikey spoke to him first about the shape of the team, and then we talked about the test of character. We talked about not being too enthusiastic and talking about getting 3 goals. What we said was, let's get the first one and then build from there, and that's what happened.
Moving into the second half, it was massively improved, wasn't it, from the start, right throughout?
Yeah, well, I think what we're going to have to be aware of is that we're obviously at this moment in time sat up near the top of the league. People know we've got a strong squad. I'm sure word's getting out about our game plan and how we play. So I think it's a case of. I think it's a case of. I think we've got to accept that teams are going to take 20-25 minutes and take the stuffing out of us a little bit. And it's a case of just being patient and making sure that when they're worn down, because they're going to have to work really hard to sort of match us up, and I think we've seen evidence of that certainly across the last couple of games, where teams have worked really, really hard for the first half, and then in the second half, we've got a little bit of quality in the side that shines through. We
got back in it again. George Conway, his name keeps coming up, and he came off the bench and just delivered again with another super finish.
I just said the beauty of modern day football is that sometimes it's not about what you can do for 90 minutes. Sometimes it's about your impact in the game, and George has done that today. He's come off the bench. He's had his head off early on, and he's took a lot of art from that. He's in the game, and then when the chance drops to him, you know that you've got half a chance, because he's got that's capable.
Before we get to the equalising goal, there was a few penalty shouts and a few chances in there. What did you make of the penalty appeal for Jimmy B? It looked like he was contacted by the keeper, but what did you make of it?
I think in situations like that, it's always difficult in it, because we flooded a lot of people forward by this stage, and I'm going to give the referee the benefit of the doubt, because he's got a lot to look at. He's trying to look at everything at the same time. We're talking, there must have been close on 18 bodies in the box at the time, so I think if we'd have been sat here and we'd have got beat 2-1, probably have a different view on it, but we didn't. We eventually got the second goal and got the point that we, I think in the end we deserved.
Like I said, we had a few chances. Tom Class had a brilliant chance, which the fans thought it was in actually, but in the dying seconds, Josh Greening, he didn't seem to have the best of games sometimes, but he just produced that moment of magic to. It was just brilliant.
To be fair to Josh, there was a lot of emotional charge in the game. There was a lot of noise from around the ground, especially from the sort of TAD Army, and they were phenomenal again today, from the first minute to the 96th minute that we eventually played. So emotions are running high, and just as everyone is sort of all over the place, Josh Greening just takes a step back, stays out of the crowd, it drops down to him.
It seemed like he was always under control. It was so calm, wasn't it? He beat 2 players and just
it was
one
amazing,
foot he smashed it in as well.
An amazing touch of technique from Josh, but we know he's a technician, we know that's what he's capable of, and that's why he's on the pitch. That's why you leave him on there for your 90 minutes, because you just never know when he's going to crop up with something like that, and it was a game worthy of winning any football match, and to get us back in the game and give us a point here today was tough for Josh, because it was a decent strike.
If you had a man of the match today?
For me personally, I thought Tom Class had a great game, just sitting in there for us, did everything we asked. You look at Josh Greening for the goal, first class. George Conway, who come on and got his goal. Jimmy Beadle, I thought, covered a phenomenal amount of ground today, and he's trying to drive us on and get us going. And
I think he was driving the fans on as well.
I think so. Yeah, no, definitely. I think
that's that character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a brilliant character to have around the dressing room as well. So I think collectively we'll talk about the team performance. Coming back from 2-0 down, a difficult place where some teams have already been beaten. I think we'll take a lot of art from that. So I think collectively, we'll look at probably the 13 players that we've used today.
Look at the injuries. Josh Barrett wasn't involved today, and Liam Aldridge needed to pull up with a hamstring injury. But I looked at how serious are them two?
Josh has popped a shoulder in the gym this week. He spoke to me on Thursday briefly, just after he'd done it, and then talked about it being really, really sore. So we're just waiting for an assessment on that. And Liam will give him 24 hours before we start jumping the gun, but probably a week or two with Liam, I would have thought. It is what it is. It's something that we're going to have to deal with across the course of the season. But I think we've got enough strength in depth to be able to do that.
On to Tuesday night now, we're away at Welfare. Looking forward to get back to winning ways, hopefully.
Yeah, well, again, we've got to go away from home. We've got to earn the right. No one's got the right to win any football match, no matter how good they think they are. I think what we've got to get back to is just earning the right to first and foremost be in the game. It's another tough away fixture. We obviously will go with a full, less obviously Liam, a full strength side, and we'll try and give a good account of ourselves again. And if we can get a bit of structure to our game, then hopefully we'll go into the game confident. But at the same time, we know that Armthorpe are capable of again beating anyone on the day, like anyone in this league is.
Thanks for your time, Billy. See you Tuesday night.
Thank you, mate.